Miss Antoinette, first of all, we want to thank you very much for Skyping with us today.
Yep,
we know that you are busy, and we talked about how you're doing this. Okay, we're going to put them just because. And so for that, we're very, very appreciative.
You're welcome.
Okay. We do have a couple of things to share with you about your book and what your book started with us. And then we have some questions for you as well. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Who are our two kiddos that... Are you ready, Christian? Okay, and Ruby? Okay, come on up. Okay. Come a little... You can come closer. Yep. Okay.
Good morning. This is Mrs. Smith's third grade class at Lowntown Elementary School in York, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for taking your time to Skype with us. We have invited you so we could talk to you about your book, not a box, because we did the cardboard box challenge, and it was sort of like your book.
We had to go through a lot of phases to make the creations we wanted for the cardboard box challenge after we read your book. First, we had to get in a group of 1, 2, or 3 and think of a design that we wanted to make. But then we had to think of things that were possible to make. Then we had to draw what we wanted to make. After that, we thought a bit more about drawing. Finally, we made our design. It took a long time.
We like your book a lot because it was amazing. I like the illustrations. A lot of us like the bunny with the box. It was cute. We hope you make a new awesome book. Exclamation point, exclamation point.
Thank you.
So we really enjoyed your book a lot. So much so that every time something was mentioned about a box...
Uh-oh, I lost your audio.
Do you hear us now?
Yeah, now it's better.
What would you always say, Katie, with a C?
It's not a box.
So you pushed us to think a little bit differently. And when we were looking at your website today, Killian, what did you want to read?
I wanted to read the book called Not a Snake.
Yeah. Okay. So we were wondering, well, you know what, we have some questions. Would it be okay if we asked you some questions? And then
Sure, of course.
The book? Okay. Okay, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Megan. And I'm Imani.
Hi, Megan.
And I'm Imani.
Hi, Imani.
We would like if you helped us on our books. We have stuff for making books, and we have some questions for you.
Uh-oh, the sound went away again.
I think maybe Imani was really quiet. Imani, can you talk very loud?
What we have is stuff for making books, and we have some questions for you about the books. The books are for the classroom, and we will save them to have them for a long time. Here are some questions. What are writing tips for my book named My Evil Brother?
Okay, so Imani is writing, I don't know if you heard her, she's writing a book.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were doing a classroom redesign, and there was a core group of kids that wanted to add to the library, both the physical library and the digital library. And Imani is writing a book titled My Evil Brother.
Uh-oh, the sound went away again. Ah!
She's writing a book titled My Evil Brother.
Oh.
And she wants to know if you have any tips for her.
Well, are you basing this on reality? I mean, you're kind of exaggerating. You have a brother that you think is evil?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. Well, that's the best place to start, because when you have a real experience, then you have a lot of stuff to say about that. And you can exaggerate it and make it funnier. I mean, exaggeration is a great way to go. Like, you just push it farther. And you already know that. You know? And you try to make it funny. I mean, you can make it really sad and tragic, too, but probably you want to make it a little bit funny.
She has had some experiences with slap bracelets and planting them so her brother can sit on them and things like that. So maybe those real experiences can be translated into her book?
Yes. Yep. Because a lot of, I mean, the things that are the funniest are the things that are based on what's true, just exaggerated a little bit. That's what really makes us laugh.
I wrote a book, and I have like this character named Rosie, and I was wondering, what should Rosie have to like care about, or like something special, like something main in the story that like she could keep with her, something special like a pet or a toy.
Did you hear Ruby?
Well, what about that? I mean, what you do is I always look to my own self and go, what do I care about? What's special to me? What would really be fun to think and write about? And that's usually something that you already care about or think is interesting and funny. So maybe it's a droid pet, you know, like you can just play around with that.
Yeah, I was also wondering, should it be winter in my story?
Should it be what?
Winter.
Oh, winter. Then everything will be white. You'll have less coloring to do.
That'll be easy. But you'll have to make
Yeah. And winter makes things hard. You know, like winter makes it like hard to travel. So if you want to have, like, if you had a journey in your story where they had to go somewhere, if it's winter, it would make it more dramatic because it would be hard to get places and they would be cold and maybe they would get stuck. You know, I mean, there's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Creating barriers that your characters have to overcome makes a story exciting.
And we had talked about that, having some sort of a problem or something that they had to figure out.
Yeah.
Did you have
I mean, when I took writing class, the teacher said, you should set up your problem, you should know who the main character is and what their main characteristic is and what their problem is in the first 2 pages of your story. So that immediately people get who this character is, what it is they want, and how come they can't have it. And then we're going to spend the rest of the book finding out how they somehow get what they want, even though it's hard.
Did you girls have any other questions? Okay. We were wondering if you could tell us how you got the idea, Brandon, for Not a Box.
I was at my mom's house, and I was standing at the sink, and this is the house where I grew up as a little kid, and I was looking out in the driveway, and I had this memory of sitting in the driveway in a cardboard box with my brother, and we used to get, like, there were 5 kids in my family, and we used to get our groceries in big cardboard boxes because there was a lot of them. And we were sitting in these boxes that we'd brought home from the grocery store, and we're pretending we were on a train and had a long, skinny driveway. And I was looking out the window, remembering sitting in those cardboard boxes and thinking my mom was a really busy mom. She had all these kids. She was like probably washing dishes, looking out the window and seeing us and going, what are those kids doing sitting in boxes? Because if a grown-up is busy or distracted and they're not remembering when they were a little kid, they might think kids are just sitting around in a box. Like, what are they doing? How could that be fun? But when you're a kid and you're sitting in a box and you're imagining something, it completely takes over your thinking, and it's like it's really happening. Like you're really pretending you're in a train, and the train feels real, and you're careening around a mountain path, headed for a tunnel. Anyway, so I was remembering how much fun it was to imagine and how how often I did it when I was a kid. Like I was always building rafts and pretending I was sailing on the seven seas, and I would be like standing in this wooden plank in our driveway, like, and I would make a real sail out of an old sheet and have a mast and have the sheet be able to go up and down. I was like really proud of that. Anyway, so I wanted to write about that. I wanted to write about how exciting it is to be able to entertain yourself with your own imagination, and also have the idea of a grown-up or somebody who doesn't get it come by and sort of be like, what the heck are you doing? And show that somebody who has an imagination sometimes might have to defend their right to be an imaginer, because not everybody gets it.
You're telling us that you were the bunny.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is so cool. We have a couple of kiddos here who are really, really into drawing. So much so, and you can't see here, but they've created drawing spaces in our classroom so that they can come whenever they were done with their work. They can go and use that space to draw. And I don't know if you see them waving their arms in the air.
Yay! Yay, drawers!
But your images were very, very simple, but very, very powerful. And like, what was your thinking about that?
Well, my philosophy is that you distill a picture down to what's important. Like, you want to show people the thing you want them to see the most. And and if you get that part really right, like, part of it is staging, like how do you show something? Like, are you looking straight at it? Are you far away? Are you up close? Like, all those things are things to think about. And with Not a Box, I wanted it to be super, super, super simple, because the idea of a cardboard box, it's like the most simple thing. And yet in our imagination, we can make it into this really amazing experience that we're having with ourselves or with our friends based on what we're thinking. So I wanted to clearly show that it was all about imagination, not about fancy toys or things that are complicated. So simple really worked in that case. Sometimes illustrations are super complicated, and that's really wonderful too, but it wouldn't have worked for this book.
No, and the use of color to identify what was imagined was really...
Lost the sound for a minute there.
Sorry about that. We noticed that you used the color to show what was imagined, and the black and white just to show what, like you said, the onlooker saw. So that was pretty cool as well. Kassir, do you have a question? Nice and loud.
What is that cardboard box doing behind you?
It's just a really cool box. I like it. My daughter made this little art piece where she painted a cardboard box this bright color, and we visited her on the East Coast. And I saw her box and went, ooh, I want to paint a box of bright color. So I'm going to paint that box like red or something and just put it in my studio.
And why does it look not a box?
Yeah.
Not a box.
But why does it look so far behind you?
Oh.
It's just the camera. It's actually about 1.5 feet behind me.
Oh.
So
in my dining room, and my buffet is behind me, and there's I put cardboard on it.
even as a grown-up, you're figuring out what's, as Katie says, and you say not a box. Killian, do you have a question? Come on over. Okay. This is the young man who, after we read your book, went home and started building airplanes out of cardboard.
Cool.
Yeah, and hi, my name is Killian, and me and my friend Christian, we draw at his house, and the last time we drawed the Penn State sign, and we gave it to Mr. Miller, our principal.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you. Do you have time for one more? Ruby?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
What gave you the idea for the character to be a bunny?
You know what? I drew a bunch of different animals, and the thing I liked about a bunny was that when he was sitting in a race car, his ears could show that he was going fast because they would blow back. And that was the only animal where I really could get that look, so I picked a bunny. Plus, they're so cute. My daughter used to have a bunny.
My sister loves bunnies. She would love to read the book. You would just think it's adorable.
Uh-oh, I couldn't hear that. It went...
Say it nice and loud, Ruby. I think she'll appreciate it.
Well, my sister, she's a bunny lover. She has these bunny ears.
Oh,
And what did
cool.
you tell her about the book?
Well, my sister, since she loves bunnies, she will love to read the book that you know, so I think it's adorable.
Uh-oh, it's breaking up. I can't hear. I want to hear.
Real loud, Ruby. She'll think it's...
My sister likes bunnies.
Oh! Guess what, Miss Antoinette? It's the fire drill.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you, thank you.
Bye.